NBC has suspended one of their senior reporters for mocking new Twitter owner Elon Musk. The network told the reporter, Ben Collins, that his comments about Musk and the social media platform were not editorially appropriate. But what this really just shows you is the sanctimony of some in the mainstream media and this phony effort to be seen as balanced and fair in their reporting. Here's the really absurd part. Collins has been prohibited from covering Elon Musk on any NBC News platform. But he's still on the air and online covering anything else. According to NBC's website, Collins covers disinformation, extremism, and the internet for the network, but he's been benched for doing that. He was just honest about his views on it. Collins admitted his disdain for Elon Musk, much like many in the left-leaning media. When Musk suspended several Twitter accounts of journalists, Collins tweeted in part, quote, "Unless he's trying to tank this place on purpose, I've never seen somebody more out of their depth in my life." And that was reportedly the tweet that apparently broke the NBC News code of conduct. That led to Collins being banned from covering Musk. Now, Mediaite first reported that NBC management warned Collins repeatedly about his opinionated tweets regarding Musk. So he was instead supposed to pretend that he didn't despise Musk and then just maybe let it seep into his reporting. It's just so silly. NBC has suspended another journalist involved in covering another controversial topic. It's not the same, but raises similar issue about sanctimony and controversy. Correspondent Miguel Almaguer was suspended over his now retracted story, the attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul. Almaguer reported that Pelosi didn't immediately make it known he was in danger when police showed up to his San Francisco home, reporting that Pelosi didn't, quote, declare an emergency, adding fuel to conspiracy theories. NBC's removed the clip from its website with an editor's note that says the piece has been removed from publication because it didn't meet NBC's reporting standards, and Almaguer has been taken off the air. But again, while the tone of Almaguer's piece was off, and it did lead to some conspiracies, which we've called out on this show, it wasn't like so clearly wrong. It was just tonally off, focusing on the wrong things. They're suspending him to supposedly protect the integrity of the brand. But what does that even mean? So they really want viewers to think, oh, we have no bias. Oh, we're just objective. No one believes that. You know, what we aim to do on this show is tell you what I'm thinking. You know it. I'm not hiding it. Allows you to come to your own conclusion about whether I'm right or wrong. Let's bring in Aidan McLaughlin, editor-in-chief of Mediaite.com, which I founded. Aidan, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
All right, so what do you make of this suspension of Collins and the fact that he's just suspended from covering Elon Musk?
Right. I mean, I think it's a little silly to begin with that he's only suspended from covering Elon Musk. He's benched from talking about Elon Musk either on air or on NBC News. He's still free to tweet about Elon Musk, which is also a little bit of a loophole in there.
Has he been doing it?
He has far less than he used to be, I think, because he's a little bit scared about what NBC can do now. But I think the thing is, this has always been a problem for NBC News and MSNBC. You know, they're both under NBC Universal, and there's always been a tension between NBC News, which is supposed to be, you know, it's a very impressive news operation. It's supposed to be more objective and down the middle. And then MSNBC, which, let's be honest, gets its money and its ratings from opinion commentary. And that's particularly a problem with someone like Ben Collins, who's a very popular reporter for MSNBC and NBC News. He's got 400,000 followers on Twitter. He's on air all the time. And it's his sort of bombastic commentary that really gets a lot of attention for MSNBC.
Well, it's why the right hates him, right?
And before the Elon Musk commentary.
Correct.
His coverage of extremism and disinformation, which is his main beat, has always angered conservatives. It's not new that his commentary has gotten him, you know, in trouble with conservatives. It's just new that it's gotten him in trouble with NBC News.
Right. So what? I mean, I don't get it. So what is the point then of suspending him? You know, oh, he made these comments about Elon Musk that were negative about Elon, because that's what he thinks, and he's just admitting it.
Right. I do think to a certain extent that his commentary on Elon Musk it bordered on the gleeful. You know, when Elon Musk would make a mistake on Twitter or do something that came off as sort of humiliating, the way in which Ben Collins was tweeting about it was not the way in which I would want a reporter at my objective news network tweeting about something like that.
Objective, but that's the point, isn't it? That it's the objective news network, and the bottom line is MSNBC isn't objective. It's not remotely objective. But I guess the point is that they're still going to pretend that they are, right? Well, and they have to keep some semblance of face on that.
Right, and I think NBC News is very, very sensitive about allegations that they are not objective.
Thank you for watching. Go to NewsNationNow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.